Welcome, one and all. So it's traditional sealed time with Dominaria United. I played regular sealed yesterday and didn't do too well. I went 0-3, but it was fun. I ran into some quite good cards, and I didn't have much removal in the deck. I think it's fair to say. So uh, good learning experience anyway. I think I know I identified one mistake where I missed a win, basically. But anyway, it's a good sort of primer yesterday. So hopefully we do a bit better today. We're trying traditional, so that means it's best of 3 games. So we'll do a bit of sideboarding. Right, what have we got here? Let's look at Karn. 4 mana. He creates a tapped power stone. So he's ramp. He just makes mana stones. They can only right. They can only cast artifacts. Okay. Pay any amount of mana. Look at that many cards from the top of your library. Then put one of those cards into your hand. And the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So it's interesting. It's a Planeswalk ability where you've actually got to pay mana. So, in other words, a lot of the time it's going to be pay 1 mana to draw one at your top card. If you've got spare mana, you can do a bit of card selection. And then the ultimate -7. So he starts on loyalty 4. So he could do this 4 turns later. You get an emblem with tap an untapped artifact you control. This emblem deals 1 damage to any target. So that's obviously pretty fantastic if you're going to have at least 3 power stones that you've made. Like a free lightning bolt every turn. Pretty fantastic, right? I'm going to say, yeah, we're going to be playing this guy. Obviously, the -1 is you're just drawing a card for 1 mana, so that's really good. Even if we don't have any artifacts in the deck, that's still pretty good. Right. We have Squee, Dubious Monarch. What I know about Squee is he's usually very difficult to kill. So 2/2 haste for 3. Whenever he attacks, you make a 1/1 red goblin that's tapped and attacking. Of course, that isn't always too helpful because it'll probably run into one of their 2/2s. You can cast him from your graveyard by paying 4 mana and exiling 4 other cards from your graveyard rather than paying its mana cost. Okay, so he's got in the can't remember which set it was, but that's called Escape in another set. And he's got haste as well, so he can haste out of the graveyard and keep making goblins. So that seems fantastic. We want to find a way to play this guy in our deck. Leaf Crown Visionary. Well, instantly I can see that's double green for a 1/1. That's going to be hard to play. Other elves you control get +1/+1. Probably not going to get very many elves. We'll probably get 3 elves in the deck in total. Whenever you cast an elf spell, you may put 1 green. If you do draw a card, great. Well, fantastic card for the elf deck. But we're not going to we're extremely unlikely to be playing this today. But let's look at the... See, even this green rare, is it an elf? No, it's a Dryad Warrior. Quirion Beastcaller. Now, familiar with the Quirion elves. Whenever you cast a creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Quirion Beastcaller. That's fantastic. Okay. When Quirion Beastcaller dies, distribute X +1/+1 counters among any number of target creatures you control, where X is the number of +1/+1 counters on the Quirion Beastcaller. Okay, right. So, yeah, this is like the that little artifact dude from Kamigawa. Yeah. So, really good card. Really good card. We have a blue-white. We have a blue-black card here. So Stern Paranoid Partisan, 2/2 for 2. Right, as it enters the battlefield, choose a card type other than creature or land. Spells you cast of the chosen type cost 1 less to cast. So you can choose Planeswalker, Artifact, Enchantment, Instant, Sorcery. So, quite handy. But that probably, I'm gonna guess this is something we're not gonna play. Because we're not gonna have many copies of those of whatever cards those are in the deck. So 3 mana to exile him, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. So he's quite tricky. Can sort of save himself for 3 mana. He can disappear for a while. And then choosing a card type is an enter the battlefield effect. So you could, if you want, you can choose a different card type. Which is kind of interesting. Okay. Might not be very good, but interesting. Urtai, resurrected. Okay. I seem to remember Urtai. So this is a 3/2 for 4 mana with flash. Enter the board, choose up to 1. Counter target spell, activated ability or triggered ability. Its controller draws a card. Okay. Pretty good. Flash counters a spell, they draw a card. It's like the that snake that cost 2 blue and 2 green. But that didn't let the controller draw a card. So that was kind of overpowered. Destroy another target creature or planeswalker. Its controller draws a card. Wow. Okay. Counter a spell, an activated ability, triggered ability, or destroy a creature or a planeswalker. Kind of does everything, but yeah, it doesn't give you card advantage. But I think that might be very good indeed. So we could do a tier list actually of our cards here. So I think this is for sealed, this is F tier, and this is like probably E tier. That's card draw every turn. That's good. That's for 4 mana. A tier. And then maybe these 3 are, I think this is S tier, Urtai Resurrected. I guess Squee does cost a lot of mana, he's probably just A tier. This is probably, you're going to have a lot of creatures in your deck. This is probably S tier. It's coming out turn 2, nice and early, and you're playing lots of creatures, so it's a really good version of this kind of card, and it gives away all its tokens. This is really, really good. I'm going to do, right, before we go through the deck, I'm going to do a little search for elf, just to satisfy my curiosity. Oh, we have one other elf in the deck. Okay, so we're definitely cutting this rare already. So now we're just going to do my first pass through the deck. We'll start with artifacts. Okay, and obviously Karn is really good. What colorless cards? Meteorite fixes your mana, does 2 damage, does cost 5, but include that. So the rules here, they're kind of flexible, but anything that's removed, any removal, any evasion, any card advantage card, I kind of put in the deck for sort of consideration, right? Crystal Grotto. So I think also mana fixing I consider as well. This looks like some pretty good mana fixing. Yeah, I like the Crystal Grotto. Okay, 0/3 defender for 1. It's got it's got some kind of ability. Till end of turn, target creature with defender gains haste, can attack as though it didn't have a defender, and assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Wow, that's really cool for a a 1 mana creature. So that's a bulwark of the defender deck, I guess. But this is we don't include this because it depends on me having lots of other defender cards. So we'll come back to this later. Heroes, in fact, we'll do what we did with the elves. We just type in defender here. We do a little count: 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it's 4 different colours. That's not a wall, that destroys walls. This is a wall, a defender payoff thing. Shield Wall Sentinel as well is defender. And that's got card advantage. That helps you find a defender creature. But this is just quite a good defensive card if you're maybe playing a control deck or a big creature deck or something. You just want to buy time in the early turns of the game. So, but we don't include the bulwark. Hero's Heirloom. Oh, okay. So this is like the thinking of the katana that gives +2/+1 from Kamigawa. So, but with a little upside, if it's legendary, it has trample and haste. Right, another little trick. We'll use the trick again. We're just going to look and see how many legends we have. Oh, we have 2 blue-black legends. That's quite interesting. What's the Vodalian Desecrator? Draw a card, then discard a card. If you discard an instant sorcery, you get a little drain life trigger. That's good. You can sacrifice it. You may cast target instant or sorcery from your graveyard this turn. Oh wow! So I was looking for this card. I was looking for something that lets you play stuff from the graveyard. That spell would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. Activate it as a sorcery. So unfortunately, it doesn't create a loop. So there's the black card, there's black Raised Dead card, which can actually bring 2 cards back from the graveyard. But obviously, this with this you can only loop that once. It's because it's getting exiled, which is a shame. Hero's Heirloom, is it going to be good? Squee already has haste. Be pretty good to put on Squee. Tori Davenant, I think, as well. That already has trample, by the way. Yeah, we've got Stan, we've got Urtai, we've looked at Spawn of Turg, Frog Beast. Power equal to the number of land cards in your graveyard. That's very interesting. So this is another frog for the self-mill deck. And you can sacrifice a land to gain 2 life. Not that good. The really good one is the one. There's the red creature that lets you sack a land to draw a card for 1 mana. I ran into that yesterday, and that basically destroyed me over the course of the game. I couldn't recover from that level of card advantage. Anyway, what we've established here, we don't have very many legends. So Hero's Heirloom isn't going to be too great, and it doesn't fill any of my categories because it's not removal, it's not evasion. Oh, it's giving evasion, but only to a legendary creature. So yeah, and it's not giving card advantage. Right. What this does though, it gives you trade up potential. So you turn a 1/1 creature into a 3/2. Suddenly it can block and trade with a hill giant, and then you can do the same thing again with your next 1/1 creature. So it's kind of nice. Shieldwall Sentinel gives you card advantage because you can search your library for a creature card with Defender. We don't have that many Defender cards, but I think we've looked at Defender, and it's probably not viable. So even though this is card advantage, we'll just pre-cut this basically from the deck, rather than sort of complicate things. So these are the 2 artifacts I think we're going to go with. Right, we're going to look at white next. Vigilance and Enlist. So yeah, quite cool. Cheap Vigilance creature you can pump up. Not bad. Benalish Sleeper. Okay, this is a... It's not... I guess it's removal. You know, it's like a Diabolic Edict effect that affects both players. I think we include that. Okay, great. This is removal. This is great. Samite Herbalist. Fantastic for your Enlist deck. So obviously it's scrying is kind of pseudo card advantage. Yeah, we quite like... I don't usually play combat tricks, but Take Up the Shield is a good one. Giving lifelink, that can really help when you're racing. Right, Stall for Time. It is pretty effective removal. I think we include that. Heroic Charge. Alright, you can spend 6 to give everything trample as well. Yeah. This is for the Defender deck. You get birds every time you play a Defender. But I think we just ignore this card. And then we have a big flyer. Yeah, okay, so that's fantastic. That can be a 5/6 flying. Which is interesting because it has a green kicker to make your flyer that much bigger. Yeah, so we include that. Now, that is white. So we're looking probably at making a 2-color deck. We've got 2 artifacts we can play. So in 40 cards, you usually want 23 non-land cards. So we're looking at 21 other cards. So we kind of need to have, let's see, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7. And we can fill that out a bit with a few other cards. White is borderline playable, I would say. Because, well, probably either going red, white, blue if we were to play white. But we'll look at our blue cards. Pixie Illusionist is great. So got evasion and it's got mana fixing. Okay, that's a kind of a combat trick. This is a cantrip. So it's sort of pseudo removal. I don't know if we include this or not. Sometimes this is pretty good. But it's very conditional removal, I would say. So I think we just ignore this one for the moment. Discard your hand, then draw 2 cards. Wow. That's got evasion. That's potentially card advantage as well. So that's a pretty good card. This has got evasion. Impulse is back. Pick one from your top 4 cards at instant speed. Fantastic. That makes blue pretty good, I'm gonna say. Joint Exploration is scry 2, draw a card, and you can put an extra land into play. It's a nice ramp card. Ramp and draw, so it's a bit like the blue-green ramp and draw card from a few sets ago. Right, yep, that's not very interesting. Academy Wall. So this triggers off instants and sorceries, lets you get a draw and discard, so pretty handy, I would say. That can give you pseudo card advantage because you're getting rid of useless cards, hopefully for good cards. That's a bit of card advantage as well. Yeah, I think this is good. It's a bounce spell. So this is tempo advantage, and you're not losing a card. I think we include this. And yeah, this flyer's really good, so it's got a really good death trigger that gives you card advantage as well. Onto black. Yeah, this is great. That's got death touch and flying. Oh yeah, bone splinters, so I think this is good. There's lots of ways to make creatures, so that's almost certainly really good. We like this card. So this you can get 2 cards back from the graveyard for 3 mana. It's like Season of Renewal, and you gain 2 life as well. Just an added bonus. Okay, Aggressive Sabotage is card advantage, and it can do some direct damage, but I don't like discard because it's conditional card advantage. If they've emptied their hand, it's not that useful. You're just going to have the 3 extra damage, so I don't usually play these cards. Sometimes, obviously, they're fantastic, and my opponent usually has it at the crucial moment. Yeah, I discard a couple of really good cards. So, what's this one? Belduvian Atrocity, Berserker. So 2/3 for 3. Okay. Oh, this is fantastic. Yes, I ran into this card. So it's got evasion, first of all. So that's a point in its favour. If you kick it, you get a mana value 3 card back with haste. Somebody used this to get their braids back out of their graveyard. So to give their braids another trigger. So yeah, that's a good card. Braids, Frightful Return, and you can read ahead if you want. You may sacrifice a creature. If you do, each opponent discards a card. Not so. First of all, not that powerful. Unless obviously, if you've got these token creatures, that might be worth doing. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand, so another raised dead effect. That's pretty cool. And then target opponent may sacrifice a non-land, non-token permanent. If they don't, they lose 2 life and you draw a card. Okay, so that's a sort of a braids type effect. Yes, this gives you quite a lot of value, I would say. I mean, Chapter 1 is basically a 1-for-1. Chapter 2 is card advantage. And Chapter 3 is card advantage. Yeah, it's just very good. Right, Phyrexian Rager, we have 3 of these. I'm going to enter the battlefield, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. It's only a 2/2 for 3. Is it good? I think so. I think it's the black answer to Spirited Companion. Is it too expensive at 3 mana? I feel like this is probably fantastic. You just got to be careful with your life total. So we'll include that. Shadow's Prophecy, bit more card advantage based on domain. So it's basically as long as you've got 2 land types, you draw 2, lose 2 life. Gets you ahead in the game, sure. It's just though when you get into it, if you find the environment is quite fast, you don't have you can't afford to play your card draw cards. You need a deck that's just full of answers rather than card draw. Right, Tattered Apparition has evasion, and you can pump it. That's very good. Writhing Necromass. Yep, it's kind of cool for the the self-milled decks. It's got Death Touch, but I think we'll ignore this card. Okay. Look at the red cards. 2 Flowstone Infusions. That's really good. This is effectively a shock. Hammerhand is quite aggressive. Phoenix Chick has evasion. Can't block though. It has recursion. And it comes back bigger. It comes back as a 2/2. That's really nice. Lightning Strike. Right. You're kidding me. I've got 3 Lightning Strikes. Okay, just a sec. I'm just going to stop for a second. Right, hopefully I'm back after a seamless edit. Right, so last thing we discovered, we have 3 Lightning Strikes, which is pretty amazing. Also 2 Flowstone Infusions, so red is looking pretty strong. Not gonna lie, I think these are gonna be decent in this format as well. Smash to Dust if we want to sweep their board for 1 damage. I think this goes well with other removal, so you can sort of add on that extra point of damage you need if they've got a 4 toughness creature. So I think that's decent removal. Also, yeah, destroy artifact, destroy creature with defender could be relevant sometimes. Okay, this is the discard and draw 2 cards card, which is it good? It's effectively you're dropping 2 cards to get 2 cards, but you're getting card selection in a way because you're discarding something unneeded. I did play one of these recently. I didn't include it in my deck straight away. I think we'll include this. 8 warrior, 2/2, and you can sacrifice it to destroy an artifact, and it's got enlist. Great. Yeah. We need 2 drops, I think. And of course, we've got Squee in red. Even better. Warhost's Frenzy, a red with a black kicker. Which could be pretty, for 4 mana. That could be good with sacrifice effects like Yavimaya Steelcrusher. We need a an artifact to target. We've got, guess what? We have other sacrifice effects. That lets me sacrifice a creature as well. I mean, we'd be talking a 7 mana combo here, but I don't know if we include that, to be honest. But it's there if we need it. Okay, more burn. Giant's Firenado. 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Scry 1. Okay. I think that's a pretty decent 5 mana removal spell. Adds a nice little scry on there. Oh, and this is a good card. 4/4 reach. It deals damage equal to each opponent equal to the number of basic land types. Nice, and it's a bit of direct damage. Yeah. Yeah, somebody played that against me, actually. And then we've got a big creature. 5/5 trample, X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. What are we likely to get out? Probably a 2 power creature, right? So usually this is going to cost 6 mana for a 5/5 trample. It's got trample, so it's got evasion. I think we consider this one. Right, look at green. I'm sort of thinking it could be a green-red sort of earn 'em burn 'em type deck. Okay, Guy's Mate Domain. So that is a giant growth, basically. Then we have Colossal Growth, which is another giant growth. Pretty good. It is a combat trick. So I don't include those. This is the Vine Wall. This is good mana fixing. You can look in the top 6, and you can get a land from the top 6 cards. So you're 99% likely, 95% likely to hit a land. So good cheap mana fixing. Unfortunately, we just determined this is unplayable. Quirion Beastcaller is fantastic. We like that. Broken Wings, artifact enchantment or creature with flying. This is still kind of iffy, I would say. Don't like playing this card. Doesn't always find a target, but you might include it if you've got lots of sort of discard and draw effects in your deck, I would say. Tortoise has Ward, kind of good. Weatherseed Treaty. I don't know if we care about Ward that much. Weatherseed Treaty is read ahead. Search your library for a basic land, put it onto the battlefield tapped and shuffle. So that's a bit of ramp, bit of mana fixing. That's good. Then we get a 1/1. Then a creature gets a big giant growth. It'll probably be a +2/+2. I think, yeah, why not? Pretty good. So 2/5 with Enlist. That's a pretty tough creature, very difficult to kill. This is the 4/4 Reach Treefolk. It's obviously previous sets we've had Giant Spider, which was 2/4 Reach. So this is a power creep in action. I think we include Reach creatures. I think being able to stop flyers is very important. So we include that. Enlist. So this is a really good creature. It's also got 5 toughness. So the point of the Earn 'em Burn 'em deck, you play a lot of 5 toughness creatures that are hard to deal with. And obviously you have the burn 'em part. You have lots of removal. So they can't sort of gang up on your creatures. Or you have instant removal, so when they try and gang block your guys with a couple of guys, you get a 2-for-1. So it's looking good from that point, that perspective. So that's effectively got evasion as well. Mossbeard Ancient, 7 mana. Really expensive. Technically that's got trample, that's evasion, and we probably ought to include it, but it's so expensive. But yeah, we'll include it. Right. That's green. We'll just move on to multicolored cards. We'll go down to revisit Sten, the Paranoid Partisan. Yeah, makes stuff cheaper, and he's sort of quite hard to kill. But he doesn't make creatures cheaper. Yeah, I don't think he's just not that interesting for a sealed deck. This card. Yeah. Bit of draw and discard. Yeah, really good. This is fantastic. Spawn of Turg. Good for the self-mill deck. It's X5 as well for 3 mana. That's a tough creature. You can sack a land for 2 life and 2 mana. And you get to self-mill for 1 each turn. Yeah, it's just good card for the self-mill deck. We don't have the mill keyword in this set for whatever reason. But I guess this is not technically mill, is it? It's more like surveil. You get to look at the card before you decide to graveyard it. Obviously, this card, Tori, is fantastic. It's got trample, so it's got evasion, but it's also pumping your other creatures when you attack, and doing some other stuff, giving red creatures trample. It does a lot of good stuff. Spawn of Turk, is that going to be any good at all? I think we're going to look at graveyard. I don't think we have very much graveyard interaction. So yeah, or at least stuff that we haven't already picked. I know we just picked the blue-black one that cares about instants and sorceries. So that's draw and discard. We've got through the possibilities, draw and discard, or discard then draw. That brings stuff back. So there is very little self-mill potential in this deck, sadly. So yeah, I don't think we include Spawn of Turg. We could play black, red, green, I suppose. That's plausible. So I think we just cut this card. Rather than add it, we'll just pre-cut this card. And let's add all of the lands as well. Let's see how we're doing with lands. It's the little trick for getting rid of the basic lands. We ended up with 5, a couple of green, white. Okay. Right, so, and this is what we've ended up with. If we have that's a good mana curve. We have a lot of viable 2-drops, I would say. So, okay, right. So this shows you green's pretty weak, white's pretty weak. I've picked a lot of blue cards, which is very interesting. I didn't realise blue was that strong. Okay. Yeah, we were giving it the big talk about earn and burn 'em, but maybe there's just not enough good green cards here. Yeah, we feel, yeah, we want to play Quirion Beastcaller. We have another look at green and just see what we're missing out on. So we've got Giant Growth. Can't play that. Don't want to play that. Tortoise, Crusher. We could add these 4 green cards, but we end up quite low on. Well, if you have to include a couple of combat tricks, I feel you're a bit low on creatures in the deck. And red is going to have quite a few removal spells as well. So I think on balance, we cut green, even though they've got some really good creatures. I think white might be a bit more playable because we've got... See, that's very playable. That's a nice 2-drop. Combat Trick and Heroic Charge. Tell you what, white-red is not bad at all, because I've got 2 Destroy Evils for anything really tough. Goes well with Lightning Strike. It's a good sort of counterpart to Lightning Strike. We get to play a really cool uncommon legendary. Oh yeah, we have a quite a good white-green one as well. Right, I think I'll call this end of part 1 for now. We've gone through the deck. We decided we've cut one of the colours, and so we'll just it's looking like it could be white-red, though black. Yeah, black's got bone splinters as well. But black has got some removal. Blue's got some removal as well. Urtai Resurrected is pretty cool. Don't know if it's enough to justify playing blue-black. Obviously, no. There's no way I'm ignoring 3 lightning strikes. So I think it's gonna be red plus something. Anyway, so let's call that end of part 1. Thanks for watching so far. And welcome back. Yeah, we've settled for the white-red deck. I think what convinced me, obviously, we've got the lightning strikes, and Destroy Evil just synergizes really well. Can take out the targets I can't destroy with lightning strikes, so that just seems to make a lot of sense. I think we've got something like 10 removal spells in the deck. So only, obviously that comes at the expense of creatures. We've only got 12 creatures, but we have quite a few cheap creatures, I think. Well, actually, let's do a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 7 creatures that can come down in the first 2 turns, and then we've got a smattering of big creatures. We've got so we must have 5. There's 12 creatures. We've got Tori Davenant, Shalai's Acolyte, Outrider, 2 Molten Monstrosities. I think Monstrosities could work pretty well with Enlist. Obviously, we can pump things up with Enlist. Makes the Molten Monstrosity pretty powerful. So we can get something to 4 power, then this only costs 4 for a 5/5 trample. So I'm looking forward to that. How much Enlist do we have is a good question. We've got this, the Benalish Faithbonder. We've got the Yavimaya Steelcrusher. I think, is that just a couple of Enlists, but it's still pretty decent. So we should get a 2 toughness, 2 power creature out. So that at worst it should cost about 6. We decided. Well, basically, I've realised, of course, we're playing best of 3. But I'm going to keep. So Smash to Dust is maybe the weakest removal card, but I think I'll keep it for game 1. And if it's not relevant, I think I'll swap it for a Thrill of Possibility, just for a bit more card draw. My reasoning is, I think I'm leaving out. I mean, Warhost Frenzy. Obviously, don't have many creatures. That's just not going to be that good. We can't afford things like Hammer Hand because we've got so much removal, not enough creatures. And I guess the same goes for these instants. Heroic Charge, we don't have enough creatures to justify it. Take up the Shield. In fact, there's a couple of creatures which we recur from the graveyard. We've got Squee and Phoenix Chick. So we don't even want to protect those creatures. So I don't think this is as worthwhile in the deck. Stall for Time. I think I do like this card. It's good. The kicker needs blue. We just don't have many blue tap lands. We've got one blue-black tap land we could include to support Stall for Time. But I decided we've got lots of other removal cards, and we're going to, rather than tap things down, we're going to try and just take them off the board. So so that's my reasoning for what I've included in the deck. And yeah, we've got it down to a tight 40 cards. Add it to the decks. So we're playing best of 3. So let's see how we get on. So my first sealed deck was also white-red. Unfortunately, we finished 0-3. We had, in that deck, we had 18 creatures, so we obviously had a lot less removal. So we'll just see how it goes with a big bunch of removal cards. So this is interesting. We do have a tap land. You usually want to play that turn 1. But we've got a Phoenix Chick with haste, so we can get in a point of damage. And the Faithbonder could wait until turn 3, I guess. We are short on lands, is another point. We might. So yeah, I think I'll keep 7 because I could top deck an untapped land as well, and then I could have the most aggressive start possible. And I'd say this we're lucky in a way here. We've managed to draw 4 creatures in our opener. There's only 12 creatures in the deck. This is fully 1/3 of our creatures. And we can cast 4 of our spells, so even with 2 land. So I think it's pretty good going. We just don't have any card draw cards. There's the monstrosity. Cult Conscript is tapped. And you can return him from your graveyard to the battlefield if a non-skeleton creature dies. That's pretty nice. Okay, we've managed to hit a land. That's very significant. Okay. We really don't want another Molten Monstrosity. We need more land. Guess what? We've got another haste creature. Let's send this guy in with the goblin. It's probably the fastest possible start I could have. Oh yeah, this guy's cool. He draws a card, but it does cost him a life point, which he's probably not too keen on spending life points. So we could hold the lightning strike back to shoot him personally. We could take out a Phyrexian Rager, then probably wants to block Squee with the Cult Conscript. I think the fact is, though, I can play two creatures. The Goblin can attack if I Lightning Strike, so that is another thing to think about. So, yeah, Lightning Strike this. We'll probably come to regret it, but it's more damage this turn. I'm just going to play Faithbonder and attack. And there's 4 other cards, so there is a Lightning Strike in the graveyard now. He's got a big creature, okay. This is 7 mana right now. He's not an artifact, unfortunately. So I'll keep swinging in the air. Play a Steelcrusher. He does have black in his deck, so he might want to make me discard cards. So I could lose the monstrosity, but I need to kind of want to play a land in case I top deck a land and I can play this next turn. Can only pump this guy up to 3 power. Another Rager. It's going to take another point of damage. We top deck a land. That's pretty big. Because there was this possibility I could attack with that in list just to cast my Molten Monstrosity. But we don't have to do that now. So I think we just swing in with a chick. Lightning Strike on the chick. Very interesting, okay. Play the monstrosity. He has his own one, okay, nice. Oh, that's nice. That's nice and well timed. its sorcery speed. Yeah. Lines on the bottom. Yeah. So that was a good top deck, I'm not going to lie. That was ridiculously good. Okay, I saw one toughness. He did have a one toughness creature, but we'll drop Smash to Dust. I was thinking more of the white decks which have lots of 1/1s. Those are probably pretty scary. He does have some big toughness creatures, so Stall for Time could be very good. Or we could just Thrill of Possibility to get to my answers a bit quicker. Yeah, maybe we do that. Okay. And that is the first game I've won in this set. Fourth time lucky. We'll see. Well, we'll see how we do in the match. But he's got a lot of card draw in his deck. We had the most aggressive start possible. Sort of turn 1 haster, turn 3 haster. Right, we've got a 2-lander opener, and we've got 4 of our expensive cards and a Lightning Strike. I'm going to call this mulligan. We've got the right mana, but this is very worrying. Okay, that's better. 3 land. Monstrosity, Shalai's Acolyte. We could just play that for 5 mana. And we've got a nice selection of removal. Keep 6, and we'll drop the Monstrosity. So we've got no early plays, but we're gonna be a control deck this game, I guess. That's very nice. Okay, so we've got something to do on turn 3. Getting close to the mana we need for Shalai's Acolyte. Okay. Pretty nice. Okay, so I think we Lightning Strike that to clear the way for Squee, so we can get a Goblin through. Makes sense to me. Oh, a Meteorite. Oh, isn't that annoying? 3 toughness. Right. So, creatures dying are good. That's a lot of card advantage. We have drawn Karn's Living Legacy, which is pretty solid. Doesn't have trample. Funnily enough, this is the one situation where we want to make a Power Stone token, so we can make sure we play a Meteorite next turn. So we're not attacking, playing playing Karn. And we're making a Power Stone token.
If he must fight, Dominaria's treasures will aid us in our fight.
Do we double block the Garner to protect Karn? Maybe we do. He might have a giant growth. He's got green. He might have red instant removal. Maybe Squee has done his job. If this guy dies, of course he'll draw a card, which is pretty good for him. He's got a lot of momentum in this deck. Another Rager. Very cool. Okay. Meteorite can actually blow that up, which is nice. And we want to play Shalai's Acolyte with Kicker if possible. So, yeah, I think it's just a Meteorite turn. Oh, we can spend 1 mana to draw a card. I love that. That's cool.
We need answers.
Yes, put that into my hand, please. Another removal spell. We could just keep trying to get him to 7 with Power Stones. That might be a pretty scary thing for the opponent, but just obviously drawing an extra card every turn is insane. Ah, he's got some really annoying 3 toughness creatures coming out. I can't take it out with Destroy Evil or Flowstone Infusion. Okay, whenever 1 or more creatures die, put +1 counter. Okay, there is a way through. We just need a creature to die, and then we can take this guy out. I think it is a kicked Shalai's Acolyte turn, and we're just going to make another Power Stone because why not? What the? Okay, cancel. 7, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah, I'm with you. The mistake I've made is I can't use the Power Stone. Of course, we're going to run into that problem quite often. If I draw a card, then I could be in trouble because then Karn dies. Let's play a Herbalist quickly. I think I'll play make the Power Stone token, and we've probably that's probably a mistake that we've made there. Never mind. End turn. We couldn't decide what to do about this thing. If he blows up my Herbalist first, of course, then puts a token on there, then we can destroy it, which is quite fun. There we go. 1 damage to everything. He went for it. That's pretty nice. Okay, destroy evil. Okay, another big creature. Right, now, Shalai's Acolyte can happen with kicker, 5/6 flyer, lovely, and we will, tell you what, we can go for broke with Karn, try and get to 7, and then obviously we can win very easily if he can't deal with Karn. He has some huge problems. Let's do it. And the plan is we're just protecting Karn at this point. I think we hold a Plains in hand. We could Flowstone Infusion and get Squee out if we want. Let's suppose that's like instant speed or something. No, he doesn't have flash. Okay, but we'll hold our removal card back. Because now he needs to just take down Karn. Yeah. Interesting. So Nice. Karn wins us a game just by threatening to ult. We did it. We actually got a win in sealed. I was worried I'd go 0-3 again, so now I can relax. But yeah, this is felt like this is what I ran into yesterday. My opponent's playing bombs against me and not having an answer really. I'm not having an efficient answer for them. And I'm the one playing the bombs today. So I got Squee both games on turn 3, and he made goblins, so that's fantastic, of course. And getting Karn is fantastic as well. So we will play. That's good. Alright, we've hit 4 lands. We've got Squee again. Ever present. Yeah, keep 7. We have a removal spell, so we might get Squee through on turn 3. More land, but that makes my Molten Monstrosity happy, I suppose. He is red-black, so he's probably got something. Let's go for Squee. I've actually got enough land for a Molten Monstrosity if Squee doesn't die, but I'm expecting a lightning strike. Okay, thrill of possibilities. He had too many lands. Actually, yeah, that is a really good card with Squee, of course. It fills up the graveyard. What is... Okay. This is instant or sorcery. Okay, lightning strike. There's the lightning strike. Okay, okay. That seems fair. Okay. Oh, target player mills 4 cards. Yes, please. He's probably going to mill himself, I'm guessing. Yes. He's a sensible man. Right. Tellurian Terror goes in there. Joda's Codex. Ooh, some interest. That's an interesting domain card. Okay. He's playing a lot of colours. Suffice to say. Okay, my turn. The march towards the Molten Monstrosity continues. Impulse, good card. I was very tempted by blue because I had 2 impulses. Okay, you can impulse again. This is a nice card. Not tempted to lightning strike my goblin yet. I think he's made the right choice. Lots of dirtly things happening. I think we'll just start filling up our own graveyard. We'll Flowstone Infusion this Skullcrusher. My turn. So I think officially he has missed a land drop that turn. Now if he blows up the goblin... Oh, okay, yeah. That's a lot of damage, is it? 3 damage to me? Interestingly, I can Meteorite and Lightning Strike this guy. Then I can do double Molten Monstrosity next turn, which is kind of hilarious to me. 4, 5, 6, 7 mana, yeah? Could just play a Molten Monstrosity, it's pretty boring. I think this is fun. Get through the Goblin as well, which is pretty cool. Oh, we've got 2 cards. Oh, if he does the black discard 2, that would be very sad. Okay, 1 damage to any target if you sack another creature. That's pretty cool. So, Molten Monstrosity. Oh yeah, it's only got 5 power. Oh, that's disappointing. I can't play my other Molten Monstrosity. Yeah, disappointing. Okay. Attacks and turn. But he's done so much card draw. He must have like, oh no. Oh, he's got that. Oh god. So he's got the kick, yeah. Kicked enthralled to the pit. It's pretty horrendous. Okay, I think... Yeah, we're taking 10 damage. We can stop 5 damage with the Goblin. I think that's reasonable. Yeah, enthralled to the pit. It's pretty insane, to be fair. Right, Shalai is... And he might just have, like, 2 more of those in hand. I hope not. Can't quite recast Squee. So yeah, okay. Let's play a plains. No, it's still gonna not. It's still gonna cost too much. It's Molten Monstrosity, isn't it? I can't do both of these. Yeah. We'll keep a card in hand in case of discard. I think I'm just in the situation. I've got to block the Hurler Cyclops. Interesting. Okay, he's got lots of card draw in this deck. 2 amplifier. Okay, yeah, bounces that back. Sure. Yeah. Okay, that's sweet. Yep, that kind of does the job, doesn't it? Just needs bounce spells from my big creatures. Shame this doesn't gain you life when it comes into play. That would be very useful at this point. So this guy... Okay, he gets bigger and bigger. So we'll hold up mana for Flowstone Infusion. And the turn. He's got 3 cards left. He's done so much card draw. He's probably got another answer. Nice. Yeah. That's absolutely horrendous. Yeah, it's a good card. I was scared. I didn't play it in my previous sealed because I thought 7 mana. I'll never get to 7 mana. It won't be relevant. Yeah. So enthrall to the pit. absolutely horrendous. Okay. At least we can blow up that guy. In theory. Oh yeah, we can just sack it and ping me for a point. But yeah. What this guy's got is a lot of card draw and card selection, and he found the answers. And the white-red deck does not have that. I think the first thing we do, drop Smash to Dust, put in Thrill of Possibility. Then we can do a bit of what he's doing. It's tempting to just give up and go, right, let's drop all the big creatures, so because they are they could be a problem. But I don't think we have a lot to replace them with. We could replace them with little defender things. That doesn't feel great though. That doesn't give hexproof, which would be helpful. I think a stall for time is probably good. I think we will do the little trick here to find my blue-black land. We drop a white land, unfortunately, but needs must. So yeah, I think this could be critical usefulness. Don't know if he's playing very many small creatures, so arguably you can drop a Flowstone Infusion, I think. Maybe a Meteorite. We'll drop a Flowstone Infusion, say done. It's a sort of card draw, ramp to 7 lands kind of deck with some big, horrible late game things he can do. And we've hit 2 land and no red mana. Okay. That's my punishment. We've got Karn. We've got Samite Herbalist it could come out on turn 3, start attacking turn 4 and start scrying and finding me land if it doesn't get blown up immediately. So yeah, we can literally play one of our cards. Gonna call this a mulligan. Let's not mess about. Okay, we've got red. We've got actually too much land. We can put a plains back on the bottom. We've got the Squee again. Plains on the bottom. It's not a very good hand. Would have to say it's got not a lot going on. One thing I can play. I'm going to play the tap land. Because he could play something that I want to lightning strike, but I'll take the risk. He's a slower deck. Okay. List. Top X cards of his library. Yeah. Lightning strike on you. Have a very simple deck here. Squee can just run away with the game on his own, as it turns out. This has got first strike. Oh god, that's so that's a nasty rare. Pay 2 life, 1 red less to cast, and it pings things for 1 damage when you cast a red spell. That's pretty nice. Okay. So resolve that. So he has nicely blocked up the board there. I wouldn't not be able to get through. Oh, I've top decked Firenado. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. I've top decked it again. Thrill of Possibility. Yeah. But no, we could put that on the bottom. We want to top deck a land. We don't want to discard a Lightning Strike. Wow, it's got a lot of big creatures as it turns out. Oh, and I'm just top decking every removal spell. It's beautiful. This is what my opponents usually do against me. Yeah. Okay, yeah, happy with that. We dropped the Flowstone Infusion. I think that's fine. Let's go. Ridiculous amount of removal. So Lightning Strike, Molten Tornado, Destroy Evil. And I had a Lightning Strike in hand as well. Okay, Thrill of Possibility, I think, turn 2, and discard a mountain. Looks pretty good, I would say. Because we need to draw something that we can play. Okay, it is instant speed. Let's do it at the end of his turn. I think we maybe just discard the... oh, look at that. It's doing the same thing. I'm thinking we discard a tap land. Nice. He has the same card as me. So, we've seen how this completely takes over the game, if you can't deal with it. Because I've got plenty of land. Just get rid of a tap land. We've got other source of white, so it's no big deal. Okay, very happy to see a Lightning Strike. Do that now. He's already got 2 cards he can get rid of, though. Let's Crystal Grotto and Scry. Stall for time, and yeah, that we might literally want to stall for time. So when he's got huge creatures out. Don't think he attacked with his goblin. Okay, let's put planes out and Herbalist. Oh, good card. Okay. Right. We actually need to get blue mana from the grotto, of course, we need to spend an extra mana, so that's going to cost us a total of 6. So I think I'm going to accept the fact that he's going to get card advantage of this, and I'll Meteorite it. Cyclops, okey-doke. So he's hit 6 mana. He's discarded 1 of his Enthrall to the Pits. There's, I feel, a high likelihood he's just going to, yeah, actually play land number 7 and do Enthrall to the Pit. We could throw up. So we could either keep up mana for stall for time. I think I feel like that's a losing proposition. He can, he can ping my Samite Herbalist to death as well. Okay, I'm going to play the monstrosity before he just blows up the Herbalist. If he's got Enthrall to the Pit again, he wins, pretty much. It's a very good card, the Hunter Cyclops. He's got 7th land, but he did not have the 2nd Enthrall to the Pit. Okay. And that is just card draw. So that's an artifact I would want to blow up. Okay, interesting. We can actually take down the Cyclops with Benalish Sleeper, because we have black mana. Ah, shit. Okay, nice. We don't have a... Still, it could be worse. He could have done something absolutely horrendous. We could... I want the mana up for stall for time, a kicked stall for time, so I'm going to play that land. If he plays a discard spell, I'll feel sad. Okay, yeah, drawing more cards. You love to see it, and then this is going to draw cards as well. Oh dear, it's all looking a bit grim. Okie doke. So this will cost 7 to tap that guy down. It's interesting to see what a good sort of control deck with big creatures looks like. Okay, my turn. Just remember, this costs me 7 mana if I play it. Right, 4, 7, 8. So the bad news is, yeah, I can't play my Faithbonder. I don't, but that's fine, I guess. Or I could just eat 5 damage, play the Faithbonder, and then I might be able to tap down 2 of his creatures next turn. Lightning Strike doesn't quite do it, unfortunately. You can always bring back his Squee, of course. Okay, there's the Flame Sage, so this has... Soaring Drake. Lots more stuff to deal with. This guy gets Enlist and gets to cast 3 instants and sorceries, which is pretty insane. This is just flying, so I think kill the flyer. At least we can block the thing on the ground. My turn. Okay. Stop in upkeep step. And they get a stun counter, so they don't untap them next turn either, which is pretty good. That buys me a bit of time. And I draw a nice card as well. And it's one of these quite irrelevant removal cards. But I suppose it kills Squee, so... Oh my god, you've got two Jadis Codexes. Nice. I hope you're going to run out of cards. 14 cards. He's just drawn 7 more cards than me. Just the 7. Okay, my turn. Oh, that's okay. That's nice. We've got vigilance, so I'm going to swing in for 1. Could still potentially block a Squee if we want. And this should be kicked to Shalai's Acolyte. Chances are he will have his second Enthrall to the Pit. Because he's drawing so many cards every turn. Okay, this bounces my creature. Yeah, this last time. We know how this goes. There's at least something I can kill with Flowstone Infusion. Can always bring back his Squee as well. Right. What are we more scared by? Because this gets to pump up stuff. I think we just kill Squee on principle. Oh yeah, that'll do nicely. So we're gonna slow him down. So this is 7 mana. He's tapped out. We can kill his huge creature. That'll do. That's another nice creature. But Squee just comes back every turn. That's the only problem. That's a lightning strike. Okay. Can you just pump this up enough now? Yeah. Okay. It's seeming like a very bad decision to kill Squee, isn't it? When this is on the board and it's not going to come back, where Squee he's got so many graveyard cards. Squee just comes back every turn. And this gets to cast another instant sorcery for free. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, bad decision. it right. Now, unfortunately, we can't do both of these cards. Doesn't quite work. I'm just thinking, could I... Yeah, I think I'd have given myself another turn had I blown up the amplifier instead. But I think the fact that he's drawing 3 cards a turn is insane. You can, like, recur, Squee. Yeah, he has enthralled to the pit anyway, so it's all academic, pretty much. Well, I guess I was lucky to win one game. But I drew all the removal and I could just win with Squee on his own, pretty much. I top decked 2 removal cards. It was ridiculous. Okay, good. Okay, nice. At least looks like we're getting 500 gems, so... no big changes to the deck. I mean, you sort of think, wow, other people can make really good decks out of their sealed cards. What have I missed? Well, I guess Urtai is pretty amazing. It does let your opponent draw cards, so there's definitely. I've got one card that could recur Urtai as well, but I don't think you ignore 3 lightning strikes. We have been very lucky with the coin flip, so we've been able to go first. I mean, we seem to love seeing Molten Monstrosity opening hand. This time we didn't see Squee though, unfortunately. It's a slow hand. We have to top deck some useful things. That's another very big creature. And it's going to be a case of, do we lightning strike the first thing he plays, or do we wait? Going ahead and lightning striking that because it's death touch. It's just going to be a pain over the course of the game. Of course, this is a 2 damage spell, which would also be enough to kill him. But this is good news. This is my turn. I've got a turn 5, turn 6, maybe turn 7 play. We're not going to do anything turn 4. Okay, Splatter Goblin, that's another target. Stronghold Arena, oh, this is a rare. This is going to be horrible. Did he... Right, that was... Okay, let's just read this again. Oh, right, you can gain lots of life if you kick it. Okay. So you've got a free land off the top. I'm thinking, yes, we've got a big creature, but if he has removal, he gets another free card off Stronghold Arena. So I don't think we can afford that to happen again. So we'll Meteorite this guy as well. We don't have any. We want to kill this one. We don't have any creatures in play, I think. Oh, we have 1 extra mana, and we can swing in with a Phoenix Chick. That's cool. So we want 6 mana, we want 7 mana to kick that, we want 7 mana for that. Archangel of Wrath. With lots of kicking things. Yeah, nice flyer, got to say. Obviously, we want to kick our Shalai's Acolyte. We'll play the Outrider and just do 2 damage. Now we've got Flowstone Infusion, which might be relevant, I don't know. But yeah, removal is happening. What did I say? This could be relevant. Doesn't have 4 toughness anymore. We're easily gonna block that. Be a shame if he gives it his guy first strike or something. Guess he's got the value from his flyer. 1/3. Okay, he needs creatures to use that, and then he can pump creatures. This is painful because we want to obviously play this, but we'll play the Herbalist. We'll be patient, and actually, if he doesn't kill the Herbalist, we can play the Monstrosity next turn. Finder of Dreams, another big flyer, 4/3. Okay, this is the blue pay 2 life. Whenever you play a blue permanent, draw a card. Oh god, yes, he gets 3 cards with Stronghold Arena. We forgot about this. What? Oh, Death Touch and Indestructible. Okay, good to know he's got that. It's an enchantment, unfortunately that only destroys artifacts. Artifacts are pretty thin on the ground, it would seem. So he can totally trade off by using Battle Rage Blessing. Okay. Oh, this looks horrendous. 3/3 flyer. Oh god, makes 1/1s every time. So yeah, we let that all through. That's fine. And have your card advantage. Okay, Clockwork Drawbridge, that's pretty good. So that just taps my stuff down. It's an artifact, though. Well, we hit the 7th mana. So, we've got a kicked Shire's Acolyte. Here you can just pay 3 to tap it down. We've got 7 damage coming in the air. And he can... Yeah, okay, we're going to play the Acolyte. I think that's the best thing to do. We're not going to be able to block his flyers in any case, unfortunately. He's got Battle Rage Blessing. to just trade off something. So no attacks. To match him, I kind of need instant speed removal of my own. Okay, it's just going to stall for time, so that's pretty horrendous. And yeah, drew a card. So you've got a persistent card draw there. Persistent card draw there as well. And just wins the game. Yeah, he didn't have to wait until my turn. So if I attack with this, it gets me to 6 life. And actually I should look at the time, because this is where you just concede, isn't it? Really. I don't think that actually fixes anything. Okay, good game. These aren't artifacts, so I can't take them out, so it's a concede here. Right. He did have a way of making 1/1 creatures, I noticed. I think Smash to Dust is good here. He did have a 4 toughness creature there, that was pretty good. I think Destroy Evil is good as well. Stall for time. I think he's going more wide than having big creatures, I think. So I think I prefer, yeah. We'll go for Smash to Dust. Yeah. Let's just keep that configuration. But yeah, early Phyrexian Arena, evasion creatures. Then, yeah, another persistent card draw card as well. So it's like the last 2 matches has been all about the card draw. Now that is unfortunate. That is a 1-lander, so definitely mulligan that one. And then we've got to put something back. I think it's actually, let's try and get away with putting a land back. Then we'll have 3 removal spells. We'll just try and top deck a couple more land for Meteorite. Sure enough. He's got bats, that's nice. Right, okay, 1/1 creature. Lightning Strike feels pretty stupid, so we won't use it, we'll just have to save it up. Lord, that is a lot of creatures. Something to Lightning Strike. A 2/2 doesn't feel great. So I'm having to use all our removal just to kind of stay in the game and not die too quickly, which is pretty bad. Okay, my turn. Okay, there we go, we've got a creature. It's got Earth-Time Resurrected to counterspell that, nice, okay. And follow dreams, okie doke. Not looking fantastic, but let's see. 5 mana and we play a mountain, so we can actually take out Urtai and Follow Dreams as long as we play the Meteorite first, right? And we blow up Urtai with this one. This is the problem, I guess, with 12 creatures in the deck, 10 removal spells. Creatures tend to be a lot, much more efficient at dealing with small creatures. Cool. We have 8 mana. Can play that, but I bet he's got removal. Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to. That's 2 mana to put 1 power into place, so we couldn't have done both. It's just this, of course, just will run into his removal. And we know what he's got, actually. I think we'll have to block. We know it's indestructible Death Touch. No, in fact, it's just the card that wins the game. A pump spell. Okay. Oh well. We did slightly better than last time. I think we won 3 games total. We won 1 match. So we got 500 gems instead of, I think it was 200. So that's, yeah, it's okay. Let's have a look at the deck. But yeah, last 2 decks had a lot of card draw. This is the problem with red-white. It doesn't really keep up in card draw very well. That's maybe why we need Thrill of Possibility. But we did have Karn Living Legacy for card draw. But yeah, it's not enough, I think. But yeah, hard to ignore 3 Lightning Strikes, I think. But yeah, we saw the black deck. One of the decks was playing all the Phyrexian Rages, so we had that option as well. We could. It's quite tempting. Shadow Prophecy. So there was card draw available to me. But I guess yeah, the Destroy Evil, the 2 Destroy Evils swayed me towards white. So it just synergizes well with Lightning Strike. And I thought, I've got 2 Samite Herbalists, that could be my card draw. And hey, you get to gain life. That's well, you get to scry at least, so you can. But we never actually tapped that to enlist anything because we only have 2 enlist cards. I don't think we ever enlisted at all. That was my big plan for getting out a cheap Molten Monstrosity, but what would happen is we draw it in the opening hand, but then we would draw lots of land and then play it on turn 6 or 7 practically for full cost. And of course the second deck we played had the very nasty card. I don't think, we don't have a copy of it here, but it's sort of take control of a creature, sacrifice it, and end of turn. Built into the kicker, so that deals with the big creature decks pretty effectively. That's interesting. How many games did we play? We had, that was a 0-2, so yeah, we played 8 games today. We played 3 games yesterday. 11 games with 40 card decks with Tori Davenant, and I don't think I might have seen the card in my hand. I've never played it yet in 8 games. Got very lucky with Squee though. The first few games, we seemed to play Squee almost like the first 3 or 4 games in a row on turn 3. But sadly, this card Tori is very elusive. I don't think it's an instant win card by any means, but yeah, it'd be nice. It would be nice. We got to play Shalai's Acolyte with Kicker, so that worked out. It's just every time it seemed to get bounced, unfortunately, but that's what happens. Now, what we could have done, if we wanted to have lots of card draw in the deck, we could have gone blue-black, because blue has Impulse, a couple of Impulses, Academy Wall for draw and discard, Talas Lookout. I don't know if it's enough cards to work. Got to ask yourself, what do you win the game with? Talas Lookout, maybe? Well, you do have, of course, Urtai, who's pretty powerful. Vohar. Tainted, maybe a pumped Tattered Apparition. Could definitely win the game. I think I rejected black because the main removal spell's Bone Splinters, and I just don't have enough ways of making free creatures. My previous sealed, it was just full of creature tokens, and I thought, oh, yeah, this is kind of the theme of the set, and they were conspicuous by their absence in this set of cards. Green was, well, it just didn't have enough cards, I think. But the cards it does have look very impressive. It's a case of can you replace white with green? I suppose this is a one ramp spell, because yeah, ramp would seem to be pretty crucial. Yeah, that would be pretty helpful. Joint Exploration in blue. Can ramp cards out as well. But I'm thinking in quite a basic way about, hey, green's got some really big creatures. Those could win the game. We just witnessed why that doesn't work. There's lots of removal. So, yeah, card draw seems to be the thing. So yeah, maybe blue-black was pretty good. Maybe you go 3 colours. Maybe you need red for the 3 lightning strikes. You play blue and black for card draw, so you can to try and draw your lightning strikes. Yeah. Anyway, so the deck was okay, but yeah, it was outclassed, I think. Seemed like a reasonable white-red deck that's, you know, erring in the favour of removal spells, but it's quite light on creatures. As we saw in the last few games, it was a struggle to get a creature out, though we had loads of removal. Yeah, anyway, I think that is a video. Thanks for watching.